This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, the Boston Celtics bounce back after getting their win streak snapped by East-leading Cleveland. The Denver Broncos keep their American Football Conference playoff hopes alive. More MLB negotiation rumors that could be true in a few hours. It has been 24 years since the College of St. Benilde has claimed an NCAA title. What do the Blazers need to bring back the dream? All that and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 3rd of December. Now, here's our roundup. In the NBA, Jaylen Brown returned to action with a bang, scoring 29 points to lead the Boston Celtics to a 108-89 victory over the Miami Heat. Brown also had 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal in just 3 quarters, resting in the 4th, as he had just returned from a bout of illness. Boston maintained their lead. His performance eased the scoring pressure on Jason Tatum, who bore the scoring brunt against Cleveland. The Celtics, now 17-4, remain second in the Eastern Conference. Peyton Pritchard contributed 25 points off the bench, and Derek White, also returning from illness, scored 19 points. Tatum added 18 points. Boston's strong 19 of 55 three-point shooting was key in their win, while Miami only managed 8 of 35 from beyond the arc. Tyler Hero and Jaime Jaquez Jr. led the Heat with 19 points each. Now, Heat fans are blaming Miami Heat president Pat Riley on X, Blue Sky, and Threads for keeping the same roster for 6 years. In response, Riley admitted his reluctance to trade players on Udonis Haslam's podcast, The OG Show. Riley expressed pride in seeing many of his former players now working full-time for the Heat, highlighting the strong culture and loyalty within the organization. Will the coaching Hall of Famer adjust his values or pass the reins on to someone who will have no qualms about changing rosters? The next matchup was hyped as the clash of Western Conference Titans. Well, after ending a 4-game losing streak with a defensive win over the Los Angeles Clippers, the Minnesota Timberwolves followed up with a 109-80 victory over the Los Angeles Lakers. The Wolves started strong defensively, limiting the Lakers to just 20 points in the first quarter and forcing 21 turnovers. Minnesota coach Chris Finch highlighted the focus on strong defensive starts and intelligent offensive play. Offensively, the Timberwolves were efficient as well, with Rudy Gobert and Naz Reid leading the charge. Gobert finished with 17 points and 12 rebounds, while Reid contributed 15 points and key defensive plays. Despite Anthony Edwards having a quieter night, the team effort was solid, holding LeBron James to 10 points, proving that the Wolves are rediscovering their defensive identity. Lakers coach J.J. Redick has been candid about his team's recent offensive struggles and emphasized the need for better ball and body movement. In this game, LeBron James had one of his worst offensive performances, extending his streak to 19 consecutive missed three-pointers over 4 games. Anthony Davis also struggled, scoring only 12 points. They were outscored 53-36 in the second half and set a record for their lowest points scored since James joined in 2018. The absence of their injured third leading scorer Austin Reeves has added to their difficulties. The Lakers are aiming to rebound in their next game against the Miami Heat. Uh-oh, watch out, Pat Riley. Elsewhere, the Atlanta Hawks beat the New Orleans Pelicans 124-112. And the Chicago Bulls triumphed over the Brooklyn Nets 128-102, highlighted by Josh Giddey's triple-double. Western Conference teams seem to be doing better than their Eastern Conference counterparts, with only 6 teams doing even and better in the East, while 10 teams in the West having winning records. Now, in the National Football League, the Denver Broncos bolstered their playoff hopes with a 41-32 victory over the Cleveland Browns. Despite Jameis Winston's fourth touchdown pass giving the Browns a brief lead, the Broncos secured the win with a 27-yard field goal by Will Lutz and a 44-yard interception return for a touchdown by Jaquan McMillan. The Broncos now stand at 8-5 firmly in the AFC wildcard race. Winston set a franchise record with 497 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, but his 3 interceptions, including 2 return for touchdowns, overshadowed his performance. Jerry Jeudy shone with 9 catches for 235 yards and a touchdown against his former team, but expressed disappointment over the Browns' inability to secure the win. Despite strong individual performances, Winston's mistakes proved costly as the Broncos capitalized on defensive plays to seal their victory. The final spot for the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup, intended to be held in the United States, was secured by Botafogo of Brazil after their 3-1 victory over Atletico Mineiro in the Copa Libertadores final. With all 32 teams now confirmed, the draw this Thursday, December 5, 2024 in Miami will determine the groupings and playoff matchups. The tournament kicks off on June 15, 2025 at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, with Lionel Messi's Inter Miami playing the opening match as the host nation's representative. The competition will feature 32 teams in 8 groups of 4. The top 2 from each group will advance to the round of 16. The final will be held on July 13, 2025 at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Matches will also take place at 10 other major venues across the United States. Teams from Europe, South America, Africa, Asia, Oceania, and North and Central America will compete. Followers of these 32 clubs makes this a highly anticipated global event. Choose your team now and follow them through their tournaments until next year. Be one with the world. Now, the UAAP announced this afternoon that Game 2 or 3 of the UAAP Junior High School Boys Basketball Finals, as well as the potential Game 3 of the Collegiate Women's and Men's Basketball Games, will be played on Sunday, December 15. This change comes as the Smart Araneta Coliseum encountered a scheduling conflict for Saturday, December 14, which had been reserved by both the UAAP and the NCAA. In light of this, the UAAP is moving its finals Game 3 to December 15 Sunday, so the NCAA may hold their potential Game 3 on December 14. The 13th Olympic Summit will be held by the International Olympic Committee on Saturday at Olympic House in Lausanne, Switzerland. This meeting will bring together key representatives of the Olympic movement to discuss important issues for its future. Topics on the agenda include the success of the Olympic Games in Paris 2024, the upcoming Olympic Winter Games Milano Cortina 2026, the Olympic Esports Games, the Olympic AI agenda, and athlete protection. The communique will be issued after the summit to provide details of the discussions. Additionally, IOC presidential election candidates not formally invited in their roles will attend as guests. The IOC Executive Board has already started its 3-day convention to prepare for Saturday's summit. Here we go. Now for our daily dose of sports lingo. Shoot the duck. What is this? In figure skating, shoot the duck mimics the posture of aiming a rifle at an imaginary duck. The skater gets down to a squat with one leg while extending the other leg. It is like the pistol squat leg exercise we see football players do, but on skates. All right, it's time for our off-court buzzer. Sergio Perez of the Red Bull Racing crashed out of the Qatar Grand Prix, but what's creating louder buzz are reports that he's also crashing out of his place on the team. His future was already in question a few days after Austrian News, Österreich, caught up with Red Bull advisor Dr. Helmut Marko, who uttered a one-liner that got everyone whispering all possible meanings behind the comment. Before the Las Vegas GP, Perez's father even threw some off-color comments at Ralph Schumacher, who merely pointed out how far behind he is in points production among the top teams. When his teammate Max Verstappen clinched his 4th individual championship, Red Bull Racing employees were reportedly not too thrilled. Sure, they were happy that Max won, but the employees were almost sure that they're not getting year-end bonuses for the team since its Mexican half is not doing his share. Despite signing a 2-year contract extension earlier this year, Perez's performances have been under heavy scrutiny, with the team beyond saving in the constructors' standings. Team principal Christian Horner has stated that the team will support Perez in the season's final race, but Checo must deliver a strong performance to secure his future at Red Bull Racing. The Los Angeles Dodgers won the 2024 World Series, but they faced challenges in retaining their core team. One free agent, Teoscar Hernandez, is highlighted as a potential fit for the New York Yankees by Bleacher Report's Zachary D. Reimer. Hernandez had a standout season with the Dodgers, hitting 33 home runs and earning a second career All-Star selection. The Yankees might target him if Juan Soto leaves. Hernandez prefers to stay with the Dodgers but is open to other offers, with Spotrac projecting a 3-year, $71 million deal. Now, what are the chances of this happening? Let's connect the dots. After yesterday's ex-Brewers Frankie Montas deal with the New York Mets, LA Dodgers' Walker Buehler posted this photo on his Instagram account. You see the background. It says, "Who but WB?" And followers are sharing their takes on its meaning. Does it mean that the World Series hero turned free agent is staying with the Dodgers? But the buzz is that the New York Mets are close to signing Buehler to a 3-year, $75 million deal. Buehler and Montas are both represented by Scott Boras. Are they something sort of a package? But then Yankees free agent Juan Soto is also a Boras client. And the New York Times has already announced that Soto is set to sign the largest player contract in sports history. Not MLB history, but sports history. Is it with the Mets as well? And that's our roundup for tonight, the 3rd of December. When we return, we'll have a chat with the head coach of the St. Benil Blazers, Charles Tew, on the preparation, hard work, and support from boss Frank Lau as the Blazers look to break their championship drought. So watch out for that right back here on The Scorecard.
Number 1 tayo sa buong mundo.
Taas noo sa'yo, Pilipino.
Dahil kasama ka sa panalo.
Bunga ng 170 years ng tibay.
Taas baso sa layo pa ng mararating natin. Simula pa lang to.
To BNC's Election 2025 special coverage.
Good evening, I'm Pinky Webb. Tonight we ask the questions, what does the investigation cover? We tackle the issues,
The president's immunity from suit is absolute.
we clarify matters, and we get on point.
Watch his press con. Sinabi niya na ayaw niya ng kudita.
What is questionable about the AR, sir? The Vice President keeps insisting walang active threat kung hindi ako mamamatay.
Ito na lang natin, mahirap pang pangunahan eh.
Pinky Webb on point.
The latest news, national issues, the political scene, and conversations with prominent personalities. All these firsthand at the forefront.
Is still continuing with hearings on the EJ.
But
We can recommend the filing of cases with the proper offices or agencies.
It is always victimizing the poor, so we will continue to go against corruption in the budget.
At the Forefront with attorney Karen Jimeno, 8 a.m.
For this episode on the Scorecard, we are with the head coach of the Benil Blazers, who are looking to make history by winning their first ever NCAA Men's Basketball Championship after 24 years. We have fourth-year head coach, Coach Charles Tew. Coach, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, Anton. Thanks for having me.
Coach, when we first crossed paths, you were breaking into the industry as an analyst on TV. But then you were doing so many other things. Of course, you were an assistant with Gilas Pilipinas under Coach Raiko Toroman. And then you went on to have your own TV show, Monday to Friday, nightly work. Now, your life handling Benil and Converge is pretty much coaching. So, did you envision na ito yung magiging buhay mo na full-time head coach?
To be honest, no. First of all, I didn't even expect to be a coach. I was just happy watching my brother play basketball. Then I guess the dominoes fell, the pieces fell, and I ended up becoming an assistant. Ended up doing a lot of work in the sports industry. And then, to be honest, I'm happy being an assistant coach. Like, I never wanted to be a head coach. I never wanted this Benil job. I never expected to be kind of the one handling Converge. But it is what it is, and I'm happy right now. I mean, I enjoy coaching, so I guess for now I can say this is what I'll be doing.
Coach, it's exciting times for Benil. The school joined the NCAA in 1998. That was season 74. Now it's season 100. And the last championship, as I mentioned, was 24 years ago. And then during that time, after winning the first championship, it was 3 straight years in the Final Four. And then ngayon naman kayo, 3 straight years ulit in the Final Four after 20 years of not making it. What do you think was the key for that turnaround with regards to Benil basketball?
Well, I think we envisioned the program. We had to recruit guys also. We wanted to really build a team. To be honest, one of my goals was really, I didn't want to leave Benil without making the Final Four. At least I really wanted to break that drought. But obviously, now that we're here, we're in the finals, I really want to win a championship. I mean, I do hope it happens. But a lot of it is preparation, hard work, getting guys to buy into what we want to do, getting good players also, that's a big factor. So I'm glad that it's all kind of worked out for now, but hopefully this is not it. Hopefully we can still take it to another level.
Coach, I remember about 2 years ago, I was here in Benil hosting the Thanksgiving party, and the owner of Strong Group, founder Boss Frank Lau, he essentially guaranteed that you guys would win the championship either last year or this year. How do you feel that, you're a couple of steps away from finally making that promise happen?
Well, it's good to be here. I mean, I give a lot of credit also to Boss Frank because a lot of my players, he really helped recruit. He was the one pushing to get them, so big thanks to him. I mean, a lot of this wouldn't have been possible without his help. But obviously, that also comes with pressure. He really wants to win, and I also want to win. So, hopefully we can finally come through this year.
Coach, yesterday I was also here interviewing some students just randomly, and I was surprised because some of the students were saying that Benil basketball is now considered a powerhouse. And this word was not associated with the Blazers for almost 20 years. So, with regards to recruitment, what are some of the qualities that you look for in a player that you want them to play for your team?
Well, number one, I like that they have, I expect them to have good character. That's number one. They need to have the right attitude, right values. We look for guys that we think can fit in our system. Obviously, talent is a big piece. We like athletic guys. We like guys who can play. I mean, to be honest, without talent, you're not going to go too far in basketball. So we try to get guys with talent, even if we can say that some of them are a bit rough around the edges. Some of them are actually have been rejected by UAAP schools, other NCAA schools. I mean, we take them with open arms and we figure, hey, we can make something out of these guys and try to develop them. I mean, that's really been our goal. Sometimes people say, hey, you're just taking guys from other schools. But if you look at it, number one, they're the ones coming to us, which is definitely a fresh change because that's not something that you'd say with Benil. Nobody wanted to go to Benil. Now, a lot of guys want to come to us. In fact, we have to turn a lot of players down. And then a lot of these guys start making a name for themselves here in Benil, which is something I can feel a bit proud of, to be helping guys reach their potential. Diba? Kasi we look at Will Gosum, he was playing, 5 minutes in the UAAP. Mix Oxon wasn't playing much. And look at them now, where they've reached. Miggy Corteza barely made the DLSU team. He barely played, and he's in the PBA right now. So guys like those are guys that I can say, we just want to get good guys. They're all good guys and hard workers, and try to mold them to be good players.
Another player that transferred from a different school. This is a guy that people are calling now King Blazer. I'm talking about Alan Liwag. The last time somebody was an undisputed King Blazer was Sunday Salvacion. So, what can you say about Alan Liwag's development, playing 2 years in EAC and then finally making the jump here to Benilde and becoming an MVP type of player?
Well, I remember when I recruited him, when I found out that he was going to leave EAC. I think I met him a day after Christmas, drove all the way to Laguna to see him and his family, and presented a full video, and just to talk to him and see how he'd fit our team. And we could definitely see the potential. I think the first time I saw him really was in the bubble. He claims that he actually tried out in Benilde.
Wow!
A while back when Coach TY was the coach. I was like assistant. I don't even know if I was there. I don't remember it, but obviously he wasn't Alan yet. He had a growth spurt apparently during the pandemic, and that's why he became who he is. And he's been great, But what I like more than his game is his attitude. He's such a hard worker. He really listens. He's a team player. That's what it takes to win, and he's just a winner.
Coach, I want to ask a little bit about the PBA because you're also handling Converge. You're kind of known for recruiting big name players. I mean, they're coming here to the Philippines, the likes of Shabazz Muhammad, Ronaldo Baltman, Nick Young, Dwight Howard, Andre Robertson, and now you have Check Diallo. So, what's it like, reaching out to these guys who played at the highest level and then being their head coach and trying to teach them something that maybe they did not learn abroad?
Well, to be honest, it's been a blessing. Tell me, I coached Dwight Howard, never in my wildest dreams, right? I mean, even guys like Nick Young, it's funny how they all kind of just fell into place. It's a privilege, I think, that I have. It's an honor for me, to be honest. But it's that there's one thing I've learned, and a lot of great coaches tell me, you still got to coach guys. Because the best players in the world, the NBA players, they still want to be coached. And the moment you stop coaching and let them do their thing, then it's different. But I think one of the good things that I have is that I think I have a great relationship with most of these guys. And that's how I'm able to recruit them all.
Coach, Dwight Howard went viral for measuring himself in the supermarket and asking the PBA to allow him to play. Now there's no height limit. Do you think one day you can coach Dwight Howard in the PBA, and how do you think that will turn out, if ever?
That'd be cool, man. I mean, we spoke about it recently, but he has a lot of obligations right now overseas. He's busy with Dancing with the Stars and whatnot. He's got a lot of gigs. To be honest, I don't know if he still wants to continue playing basketball. I mean, I'm talking to him to bring him in for our Dubai tournament with Strong Group possibly this January, but we'll all have to see if the schedule fits. So that's something we're still trying to figure out. It would be cool to have him in the PBA. A lot of fans have been expecting it. I see the rumors all over, and I'm like, hey, the rumors never came from us. We never said that we're gonna sign him, right? I mean, we want to explore, but the schedule hasn't worked out yet for him. But hopefully one day it would be cool if we have him in the PBA. I'm sure he'd be a big draw.
Coach, aside from Dwight, do you have any dream recruit in terms of a former NBA player, but a realistic goal to coach?
Well, we try. I would say it's a dream, but one guy we tried to reach out to was Goran Dragic, but he had just retired. He didn't want. We tried to get Derrick Rose, but apparently they're saying he doesn't want to play ball anymore. He's been through a lot. I'm still keeping the door open for a guy like John Wall, Isaiah Thomas, to see if it can work out and have them come over here. I mean, I'm talking to DeMarcus Cousins also to see if we could work something out. Not for the PBA, but for a shorter stint with our Strong Group team. So we'll see. Joe Johnson's one guy wanted to coach, but the window's kind of closed.
Coach, for a last question, back to Benilde. What do you think it would mean for the community and yourself if you finally end this 24-year title drought?
Man, it would mean everything to me, to be honest. I put in a lot of work, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of sacrifice to Benilde just for the school. Also because I really want my players to succeed. I mean, more than anything for me personally, I don't really care for any glory, but I want these guys to sacrifice. I always feel when players come to Benilde, it's my responsibility to help them succeed. And I feel the school trusted me. I had no connections. I'm from Ateneo, and despite that, I really want to give one back to the LaSalle community. I mean, I think the school deserves it. Obviously, we're facing a powerhouse in Mapua.
Coach, I actually see the change in the Final Four against San Beda. I was shocked because there were actually more Benildians in the crowd as compared to San Beda. Did you notice that as well?
I think so. It surprised me, actually. I mean, I'm always worried about San Beda fans. They're very passionate, and our Benilde were all a bit nice, the students. But hey, I hope they can come out in the finals. You know, I've always teased in the press cons or after those interviews, I'd love to see a lot of green people for once in the stands. So, you know, I hope they can come out. You know, I hope they're proud of the team that we have, and win or lose, like I hope they can support us.
Well, being a LaSallian coach, I think it's safe to say that the LaSallians are happy to have you.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Coach Charles, thank you so much, and all the best in the finals and moving forward. Coach Charles Liu here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. When a scorecard returns, we'll do some data analysis on 2 NBA games happening tomorrow. That will happen when we come back, so be sure to keep your eyes on the prize.
Magandang gabi, ako po si Pinky Webb. At ako naman si Corina Sanchez Rojas. Simulan na natin ang agenda. Posibleng paglabag sa international humanitarian law ng dating Pangulong Duterte, sinisilip na ng DOJ. Super Typhoon Pepito nag-iwan ng matinding pinsala sa ilang mga lalawigan. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin muling bumisita sa Pilipinas. Sa bawat issue, may anggulo at ang balita may agenda.
Good morning, everyone!
A platter of positivity, a cup of the hottest information, and a slice of what to expect for the whole day. With excitement, positivity, and fun, join Paulo Del Rosario, Ann Asis Carrillo, and Monique Tuzon.
It's a beautiful day!
7 a.m. on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. At BNC, 12 noon doesn't mean break. But
Good afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon, staunch Duterte ally Salvador Panelo believes Vice President Sara Duterte will be impeached. United Nations hailing the ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon's Hezbollah. Australia officially banning children under 16 from social media. And those are the news this hour. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
From Manila to the globe, this is World News Feed, bringing you the biggest stories shaping our time. I'm Rain Musli. Let's dive into the headlines, making a global impact.
Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. We'll break down the upcoming matchups to deliver key insights that might just give you the edge you need to stay ahead of the game. Tomorrow, December 3, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. Philippine time, live from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, the Memphis Grizzlies will face off against the Dallas Mavericks in Emirates NBA Cup West Group C action. The Memphis Grizzlies come into this game with a record of 14-7, ranked 3rd in the Western Conference. Now, in their last game, the Grizzlies overcame a 19-point deficit to beat the Indiana Pacers 136-121. Jaren Jackson Jr. led the way with 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks, while Ja Morant added 19 points and 8 assists. Memphis is riding a 6-game win streak and will look to extend it against a tough Mavericks team. The Dallas Mavericks entered this game with a record of 13-8, ranked 5th in the Western Conference. Now, in their last game, Dallas defeated the Portland Trailblazers 137-131. Luka Doncic made a strong comeback after a 5-game absence, scoring 36 points and adding 13 assists. Despite missing Kyrie Irving due to a shoulder injury, the Mavericks were able to clinch their 4th straight win. The Dallas Mavericks come in slightly as the favorites with a -3-point spread. with Doncic's strong performance and the Mavericks' home court advantage, while the Grizzlies come in as underdogs at +3. But Memphis has been on fire, averaging 121.7 points per game, with standout players like Jackson and Morant. The over-under for this game is set at 235.5 points. Both teams are offensive powerhouses, with Dallas averaging 117.9 points per game and Memphis scoring 122.5 points per game. Can the Mavericks extend their home winning streak with Doncic leading the way? Or will the Grizzlies' high-scoring offense push them to another victory on the road? We'll see. And at 10 a.m. Philippine time, live at Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona, the San Antonio Spurs will face off against the Phoenix Suns in Emirates NBA Cup West Group B action. The San Antonio Spurs enter this game with a record of 11-9, currently sitting 10th in the Western Conference. They're coming off a 127-125 win over the Sacramento Kings, where Victor Wembanyama delivered a monster performance with 34 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists for his first triple-double of the season. The Spurs shot a franchise record 23 three-pointers out of 46 attempts, a major factor in their comeback win after being down by 17 points early in the game. Chris Paul played a key role, finishing with 13 points and hitting a big three-pointer late to seal the victory. Now, on the other hand, the Phoenix Suns come into this game with a record of 11-8, currently 8th in the Western Conference. They're riding a 113-105 win over the Golden State Warriors, with Devin Booker leading the charge with 27 points. Kevin Durant added 21 points, and Tyus Jones came up big with 19 points and 9 assists. The Suns were on fire from beyond the arc, making 18 of 35 three-pointers, led by Grayson Allen's 17 points. The win came despite the absence of Bradley Beal and Yusuf Nurkic, who both sat out due to injuries. The Phoenix Suns come in as the favorites with a -7.5 point spread, with Booker coming off a strong performance and the Suns' three-point shooting display, while the Spurs come in as underdogs but have been playing exceptional basketball, led by Wembanyama and a resurgent Chris Paul. The over-under for this game is set at 226.5, a point total that reflects both teams' offensive firepower and defensive adjustments. This game is expected to be a fast-paced affair, with both teams looking to build momentum in the Wild West. Can the Suns defend their home court behind Booker and Durant, or will Wembanyama and the Spurs pull off an upset on the road? We'll see. And that wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From recently retired tennis legend Rafael Nadal, he says, "I'd like to be remembered as a kid that achieved more than I ever dreamed." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again here tomorrow on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. My name is Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.